Hi guys, welcome back to the Coding Corner. I'm Yash Rajapatya, and in this video, we're going to learn about IP addresses. Like I said in my previous video, IP address is Internet Protocol address, and it basically lets you connect to the Internet. But let's dive into detail right here. I have my Windows PC open here. I'll just go ahead and launch my command prompt and type in ipconfig, which will bring up two of my IP addresses, which is IPv4 and IPv6. Now, IPv4 address is a decimal format and IPv6 is in hexadecimal format. Now, what is an hexadecimal format? Hexadecimal format is basically numbers 0 to 9. And then if you have to represent 10, you write A. And if you have to represent 11, you write B, and so on. Now, let's come back to IPv4, which is more widely used. And you might have come across it if you browse the internet quite often. So let's look after it. Now we have four sections in this IP address, which is 192, 168, 199, and 1. Now over here, each section is called as an octet. Why an octet? Because each section has 8 bits in it. Now let me show you something. We'll start with 128. We'll have cut out 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, and 1. Now always remember 1 is equal to on bit and 0 is equal to off bit. Now, while keeping that in mind, we'll just write out 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 1. Now, as you can see, if we add those up, because every bit is on, we'll add all of these numbers, and the total will be the number that is contained by that octet. So, for example, the first octet is 192, so we'll just add up 1, 1, and 1, the starting ones, and rest of it will be 0. So like this thing. So if we add these up, because this is 0, we'll just ignore that. And we'll add these three numbers up. So 128 plus 64 plus 32 is 192, I believe. So yeah, that's an octet. Now let's continue. Now let me open up my calculator and show you something. Keeping 2 as the base, and if we raise that to 32, because each bit, each octet, I mean, is 8 bits. So 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 becomes 32. We do that and press equal to, it'll give us 4 billion IP addresses. Now, what this means is IPv4 has 4 billion IP addresses to assign. But you might ask that there are 7 billion people in this world, and most of them have more than one devices with themselves. For example, I have like 7 devices that is connected to one network. So why haven't we ran out of IP addresses yet? Well, it's because of something called as network address translator. Now, what that does is assign you a private IP address. So that is the reason that we haven't ran out of IPv4 addresses. So let's look at something else. 2 as the base raised to 128 because it has 128 bits. IPv6 address has 128 bits. So if we look at that, it gives us this number. I'm not even going to pronounce that because I don't know how to. You have that many IP addresses in IPv6. So yeah, that's that. Let's look at something else. I have this page open right here. This is basically private IP addresses, and this will give us this table. So before we study that table, let me tell you something that IP addresses is distributed in many classes. So there's class A, B, C, which is assigned to private IP addresses, and anything other than that is reserved, and you don't have to worry about that. And anything out of this table is a public IP address, which means you can hire it, and it's bought by companies, etc., etc., etc. So let's look at this table first. You have, for example, if we take my IP address, which is 192.168, if you look at here, you'll notice that class C equals 192.168 and blah blah blah. So as you can see, its subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. We're going to learn subnet mask in a future video. It's a long video, so yeah, we'll look at that in future. You have the number of networks as 2,097,000. That means the number of networks that can be made by Class C IP address is 2 million. And the number of hosts that can be connected to Class C IP address, any Class C IP address, is 254. In simple terms, 254 devices can be connected to a single Class C IP address. So if you look at my IP address, I can connect 254 devices to this IP address, which for me is a lot actually. For a small company or a small household, that is an ideal IP address. So yeah, that's all I had to cover in this video. I hope you enjoyed the video and understood the concepts. If you have any suggestion, leave it down in the comment section below. Follow us on Instagram, and if you have any doubts, you can DM us on Instagram as well. And do follow our Discord. All the links will be in the description below. And yeah, stay curious and happy networking.